I'm muted. Oh my god, I was muted. I'm an idiot. Hello, and welcome to the Villains Talk Show. My name is C4. You're quiet. You're quiet yourself. There's nothing happened.
No.
Everything is great. Everything is fine. Yes, and I'm followed with Sarah Vike, Sir Jeremy, and the Great Grease Goblin. Unfortunately, Insanieac will not be with us tonight. And we're your hosts of the Villains Talk Show. How's your week been? You might notice we don't have our guest. I don't know if you watched last stream, and if you did, he was a little, unsteady? More unsteady than we expected? Yeah, but that's fine. You know, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll do us tonight, but next week we're going to start moving forward where guests will come on throughout the week for Sunday one-shots and then Wednesday discussions. And we're going to try and keep the discussions short and light. And today, as anyone has read from the title...
Light? What?
As anyone's seen from the title... Oh, it's such a light discussion. We are talking about... Oh, by the way, you might have noticed my background. I am at work. They're doing a hood fan cleaning at the restaurant I own. So, of course, as the boss, I'm here. In my office, I have an office, and it's not that impressive. Don't. It sucks. That being said, since I'm stuck at work, that means we're going to be at work. And so what other better way to think about work than slacking off? Who is the god of slacking off? And I did not kid you, dear viewers. The god of slapping off. I'd like to introduce you to Bob. Now, who is Bob? Bob, just so I don't think my other co-hosts know this, but Bob is actually the definitive inspiration for the likeness app, justlikeness.com. If you have...
You told us yesterday.
And if you like likeness... the likeness is actually based off Bob. It is our version of Bob out to the world. It is an app. It is the greatest app. It does everything you could ever want it to. And it will bless you with the likeness. And so in our...
changes your life.
Exactly. And that's what Bob does to the Subgenius. Now, you may be wondering out there in space, who is Bob in the Church of the Subgenius? Well, do we have two pieces for you? So, first thing about Bob and the Church of the Subgenius is they have Matt Groening and Stephen Colbert as members. It is a religious group, and their whole idea is about Slack. And I'm going to let someone else take it away because it looks like I'm needed. This is a problem.
Oh, no.
Okay. No.
What are we going to do without you?
What you guys don't see is I have the cameras right in front of me. Gross guy from like South Park. So all the cameras are in front of me so I can see my entire restaurant. Oh, he's looking for the bathroom. Oh, he found the bathroom. He was looking for the bathroom. Never mind. I'm not narrating what cleaning guys are doing in my restaurant. What? Anyway, back to focus. So the Church of the Subgenius, what it is the proponent of Slack. And if you look up Bob Dobbs is a smiling-faced man who's all about decultifying yourself in the cult of the Subgenius. Yes, and it is meant to be that insane. If you have never seen it yourself, I would highly suggest looking up the original indoctrination video from 1979. Yeah, and it's all on YouTube.
No, I don't
it's so good.
That.
Oh, it will break you down. It will break you down.
Watch, that's what it is.
And then, to follow up on that, in October of 2020, there was a documentary released about the Church of the Subgenius. So, funny enough, I've seen both. We have Sir Jeremy, who has just solely watched the indoctrination video. We have Sarah Vike, who only the documentary, and our control, our beautiful, greasy control, who hasn't seen it all. Isn't that right?
Why are you talking about yourself like that?
Nice. But yes, so, and he will be The great Goblin will be representing others in the audience who do not know about what we're talking about and are probably researching it as we talk about this beautiful cult of the Subgenius.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am not doing that at all.
I need to put the links in chat. Is that what I need to do? God, you guys are so lazy.
I'm not trying to find out.
You definitely should.
I definitely will.
I recommend watching the documentary. The indoctrination video is the weirdest thing I have ever seen.
Well, no. Just talk the
really quite cool.
Just talk about the documentary. We'll let Sir Jeremy talk about the indoctrination video. He's seen all of it.
Yeah, that's fair. I watched like a third of it, so I watched a fair bit, but definitely the wrong place to start.
Okay. So you watch. So tell us, what did you like? What did you learn about the Church of the Subgenius?
I actually really quite enjoyed the idea behind it. It was just a couple of guys in the late 70s or early 80s. I was a little unclear of what year it was, who decided that they were tired of what they had been taught and what they were doing with their lives, and they wanted to rebel a little and they wanted to have some fun, and they started a cult. I think that's great. That's hilarious.
It became.
For some reason, it gives. Oh, and just so people know, once you see baseball, you'll realize. Oh, I just realized this is covering the chat a bit. I gotta pull up the chat, so I'll pull that up while you guys are talking. But
I just sent it, John.
No, I mean the chat's hidden behind.
I was just saying I sent the links already.
Yeah,
It's true.
I'm just trying to pull the chat up so it can be seen over the webcam videos. But that being said, if you've never seen, it's one of those things. Oh no, we can't see the Grease Goblin. Well, I guess we can't win here.
Do we need to?
That was the issue last week. We went over this.
That was the issue. Well, let's just put it in here. While I fiddle around and try to figure out something because I'm an idiot. So in the documentary, you also learn about it epitomizes slack, and the saying of the church, the core saying of the Church of the Subgenius, is if you have to buy slack, if they can monetize slack, then you lose. You have lost.
That
You are
very much not wrong.
You are not salvageable. You have been lost. Slack should be free, and Slack should be everywhere. Doing a podcast / talk show inside an office. I wonder who does that.
Oh.
But But that, I guess, the core of the documentary, what I found when I watched it, is it's funny when you hear from Matt Groening and what really attracted him to it. At first, he was attracted by the absurdity, but the idea is it doesn't ask you for anything. There's an actual saying in the cult as well, where if you want to open your wallet to Dob, give all you want. We're not telling you to do that, and we're not going to use it. We're just going to piss it away. But if you want. And there have been so
you should give us money, because then it'll teach you the lesson that you don't need anybody, including us.
Exactly. Get perfect segue to the indoctrination video. Before I let Jeremy take it away, you just need to watch the first 5 minutes. The links are in chat. Just watch the first 5 minutes you will know right away, and you'll think it's a commercial. And you get to see.
Yep.
It's like the opposite of a baptism revival video. It's so insane. This doc. The whole point is, the way they made it is it's more to flash these images, keep using that. Although if you write it down, it does make a sense. It does make sense. It's kind of nonsense, but it still does make logical sense. But they use such high language to try and break down your mind, and then they tell you in the middle of that nothing matters. You only thing that matters is you being lazy on that couch right now. And if you do anything else, if you get off that couch to go make $1, you lose. You lost. But I'll let Jeremy take it away, who was recently seen this masterpiece. Sorry, of the history. I'm sorry, what was that? Jesus? Jesus isn't here, sir.
No, oh jeez.
Talk show.
No, I believe they refer to him as Jehovah One.
Yeah, Jehovah One.
They did.
They call him Jehovah One, and he's been corrupted.
Yeah, he's a misconstrued alien.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Oh my.
Well, tell me your impressions. You were talking a bit earlier before we started about how you felt after. So the first time I watched it...
Well, I mean, so I started watching it at your place, and then I had to go to work, right? It wasn't like... It was like off and on, right?
Mm.
But like, oh my god, because it is... No, it's a propaganda video, and they use the flashing images and everything. If you don't recognize it, like, it's there. It's all... And like, I know the flashing images
Right.
to like... get a whole bunch of your images and thoughts in your mind really fucking quickly.
There were so
like,
many.
Thinking about one thing and not thinking about another thing, so like it scrambles your shit.
What was the
and
one
then
thing?
I get the bad news of coming home, and I watched the last half of it, and I got stoned and passed out, and it disrupted my brain while I slept. That was not okay.
Bob
Did it make more sense?
for blessing
I feel
this
like it might
man
have.
while he slept.
I mean, it was more alluring if that.
Yesterday.
Not,
So much.
What was one of the things they kept repeating in that video? Halfway through in the middle, they kept repeating it. You are the... Oh, what is it? You don't need to be smart. You're better than everyone.
No.
You're not smarter.
No, yeah,
You're just better.
If you feel awkward, if you're the awkward person in the room, it's
better.
Oh.
And every answer was, it's not... And I'm like, that's the best. Oh, I've never heard of such great feeding of an ego. Please shovel more.
then they pump you up so that they can just like fill you full of shit. It's alluring. It's creepy alluring. It's scary.
So, hearing that,
Yeah?
so when you watched the documentary, I'm sure they talked about that, their imagery and the indoctrination video.
They actually really didn't talk about the indoctrination video at all.
Really?
They talked about the template they started with.
Don't.
Yeah.
They talk about the template
no, they
for
really
the...
didn't.
Yeah.
The pamphlets were super cool. The pamphlets actually reminded me of something that I've seen a lot more recently on Reddit of all. There's this person who's created this thing called the Mystery Flesh Pit, and they've all of the story of it is told through signs and stuff, like warning signs and old, like theoretically old propaganda. A national park, except some disaster happened and it ate somebody. But it made me think of that, and it was kind of interesting to think of how they started this thing with just these signs of that didn't really have anything to back them up, but that interested people enough. Just this little pamphlet. Whole big thing.
I'm listening. I'm just looking for a picture of the pamphlet so I can put it in the chat, at least a link to it.
Yeah.
They were distributed in Texas back in the late 70s to a bunch of schools.
Mm.
And they
were sold $2 each, and the whole thing they kept saying was salvation for $1.
I just wish I could find a picture. Maybe someone in the chat, maybe if you can find a picture of find a link or a picture to the Bob Dobbs pamphlet. That's cool. But if I find one, I'll post one up in a bit. But yeah, no. it's funny. I found one thing because I remember when I first got turned on to the Subgenius, was the likeness towards there. When I first started ingraining myself with this, he it job, but I remember doing some like because I've always been fascinated with cults. It's something just one of those my life. I've had some interaction with different ones over the years, being a metalhead, but also
guessed.
being a metalhead, I get attracted. For some reason, cults just attract to you, whether it's the super religious crazy ones or the super religious crazy ones. It doesn't matter. Both ends of the spectrum. They just think that because you're a metalhead, you want to be in a cult. So I've had a lot of experience, and it's been able to do it so well in the D&D game that we play as a group. But it's funny because if you watch the video, like if you watch it for cult tactics, the entire video, where the documentary does the same thing, and I'll get to that in a second. The entire point of the video is it's meant to make you feel more human and make you feel like this feeling of humanism is being shared by the people who are either experienced in this group or people who are surrounded around. So, and that's why the part of it, or you start talking to the actual creator. I was forgetting his name. It's like Ivan. No, it's not that. It's damn it, what's his name?
I don't remember. There were two of them.
Gonna pop up on Google here in 2 seconds. Church of the Subgenius. I should just had this up regardless. It is. God, it doesn't tell me. Anyway, but the idea is that you have. So, okay, where was I? The documentary really gets me. That made me laugh, especially when I'm looking at it through for the cult. It's even more prevalent in the documentary. I would say, which is funny. Funny documentary, Sarah, is I would argue that the documentary is more of an indoctrination piece. The indoctrination piece now has become essentially a cult and underground video. It's free on YouTube, and I've seen a lot of people pull just images from it, just to make memes or to do. But then you look at the of legitimacy to it that wouldn't have otherwise in just some video of random images that's speaking at you the whole time. So all of a sudden now these people, and then you have Matt Groening in it, and he's talking along member and how him, even though the entire church's about Slack, and adds another level of legitimacy to it. Okay, to kind of correlate. I might get destroyed off Twitch for this, but Scientology, yes, that's a cult. Scientology is a cult.
Oh yeah, you might get destroyed just in general for that. So.
You know, the owner of Twitch is a Scientologist, guys. Just so we're clear, the owner of Twitch. Get up.
Let's say I don't. Where is he?
Yeah, bearded old. Has the beard out here, sits beside. I'll show you the picture.
There's the picture of the four of them.
Yeah, Matt Groening.
Groening's like right next to him.
I didn't even notice him.
Have you ever actually seen a picture of Matt Groening? You know what? I'm just gonna link this picture.
I guess I haven't.
Copy. Oh, it's Facebook. That might not work. Oh, I hate Facebook. I hate you, Facebook. But yeah, maybe someone else can find that picture and just put it.
Oh yeah, I looked up the picture. There we go.
Yeah,
got it now.
And it's funny, man, because like the thing about Scientology, just since I brought it, is once you've paid in, their idea is they're not going to go out and get you. they're going to use their star power to make you interested, and then once you watch, then they'll start bombarding you. The Church of the Subgenius takes that same idea, but it does it for all the, I want to say, and when I was in high school, we called them stage kids. All the kids, man. All the people who don't think that punk. No, and it's kind of nowadays. If you are a true punk out there, fuck, man, good on you. But if like it's so, but I think they're looking for that anti-disestablishmentarianism because the entire idea of Bob Dobbs is not just, perpetuate this idea of laziness. It's also perpetuate the idea of anti-corporatism. Not like communism in any way, but the idea that it's almost like what's this guy doing? Sorry, guys grabbed a bucket of old. He figured out where the oil trap is. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, he's got it. Nice. Nothing like watching these guys try to figure out where stuff is in my kitchen.
All the squirrels.
If I could around everybody and you would watch it with me and it would be hilarious, but I can't. So you have to live vicariously through me.
Don't do that.
I just said I wouldn't. It's illegal. God, Sarah. I'm not that dumb. I'm pretty, but I'm not that dumb. As all the viewers just disappear right there. we all know they're here for the Grease Goblin. That's why I make fun of him. We all know that's why he's here.
Because I'm the pretty one.
Exactly.
That's fair.
I mean, Jeremy would slay, but that's why he's always hidden.
Yeah.
We can't let people see his face. It would blow up the... It's so gorgeous. It's like blue steel would destroy the internet.
You know it's true, Jeremy.
You build shit up, let all these people
Oh.
down.
It'd be worse than Kim Kardashian. You would break the internet. It would be so gorgeous. You'd break your camera too. That's just the one tip back.
Maybe
Is that what's wrong with it?
So I actually forget if they do this in the documentary, but I know they do it in the indoctrination video. So Jeremy, when you watched the actual, so in the documentary video, if you can make it about 40 minutes in, and good on you for that, because man, like he started the video, but make it about 40 minutes in, 50 minutes in, they actually start showing you scenes from a Subgenius revival. And
they started that way earlier than that.
in the documentary?
I saw some of those. Yeah, no, in the indoctrination video.
You saw pieces.
And I only watched half an hour in.
You saw
15 minutes,
pieces.
and then it starts to get crazy.
So there's
You get to see like the beginnings of them. They get more crazy. This shit.
So that's what I was about to get
It's
at.
gotta be real.
So some of those people are just there for the fun. Like you can hear it in the background, like when they say stuff, there's people laughing, but there are people who get on stage and people who are in the crowd who they show who this is into them. Like they just go nuts. And it's funny. Like, and I was my question was, do they actually? I can't remember if they get to that in the documentary. If they actually showed any of that.
Yeah, they did. That's actually something they talked about a lot in the documentary,
Oh.
and it was something that really intrigued me. Is that they talked about how it was they didn't start it as something real, but a lot of people took it as something real. And they really did. Like a large chunk of the documentary talked about that, about how. And that really intrigued me.
Well, me and Jeremy were talking the other day how, like, once I showed him the video, I just see him, he's like, man, I've seen that face before. Like, I've seen it in so many places. I'm like, I know. Yeah. Once you see...
The Bob Dobbs smile with the pipe.
It's a very familiar face.
And, I mean, we could...
It is.
it really begs the question. Like, so one thing a lot of people don't know on just on the same note. So when all the people talk about the Noah's Ark story, the Christian version, like literally, they know the Christian version. Put two people on, two of every animal, all that stuff. In the Jewish version, in my religion's version, the reason God flooded the earth is because there were tall things called Nephilim that were angels and demons that ruled the earth. And to actually murder them, he flooded the earth because none of them could swim.
That's at least partially in the Christian version, too.
Oh.
It doesn't tend to get focused on, but it's definitely there.
Oh. Sorry for my ignorance. But that being said, like, it just goes like, I guess the point I'm getting at with that is people will take what they want and they'll absolutely run with it, and to hilarious degrees. I mean, I'm not going to mention any names, but apparently the 13th tribe of Jews is in America, and that's where the last testament of Jesus was found, and somewhere in Utah, I'm pretty sure that's.
No, it was found in New York.
Really?
It was found in upstate New York.
Yes, of course, upstate New York.
Like, he's not just settling with one. He's gonna get you here.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there is a Bethlehem, upstate New York. I'm gonna look that up. I bet you.
Delineate that you're also poor, and it's not worth after you go to the.
Yes.
Bethlehem. Sorry, there's a Bethlehem in Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. If you had to just, it's from Bethlehem.
You'll not be so excited. I'm upstate New York.
Part of me wishes that revisionist history was real. That Americans actually rewrote the Bible so that is from Bethlehem. What is it, Jerusalem, Georgia? Part of me finds a lot of pleasure in that.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so we don't want to keep these streams too long because these are just talk at you. So I guess we'll kind of go into our final point, which is the main point of the Church of the Subgenius, and that is slack. Delicious, delicious slack. The whole, and I brought, but supposedly the entire point of the church was originally to draw people's attention to the time they're wasting. When it's not that doing nothing is better, but it's almost better for you as a person to be slack. I remember hearing once that's why the indoctrination video of 1979 is so fast-paced. There's so many jump cuts, especially for the first 30 minutes. Make you exhausted. It's meant to tire you out.
Yeah, it succeeded in that.
Because it's meant to feel like work to watch it. Work, and then when it finally gets to the parts that are coherent, it's meant to make you relieved. It's coherent not because you can actually understand what's going on, but it's supposed to make you feel like work. It's supposed to really appreciate slack. Like when you get to the point and you actually get these long scenes that are lazy. They look lazy. It's just a camera on a stand in a badly lit auditorium. It is the definition of what a job is. That's at least my take. Jeremy, having only seen the indoctrination video, what was your take?
Like the first 5 minutes, like, fuck, and if you, I don't know, other people do it for you.
Mhm.
At least that's what I got. I don't know.
It didn't make sense.
It doesn't
You
to
sound
me.
so defeated.
He just
It sounds right. That's what's fucked.
that's awesome.
I get where you're coming from. Watching the documentary, that's kind of what I thought too. I was like, well, this is weird and it was made as a joke, but also I kind of like the idea behind it.
I don't know. If you watch the indoctrination, it doesn't feel like a joke.
But they're
It's like if you get far enough in the assassination of Bob Dobbs and
yes, they talked about that.
Yeah.
The guy who was giving the sermon did not expect that. He didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, he got
No, there was a and Bob on stage didn't expect Bob Dobbs to be there, and then he got assassinated, and he didn't expect that either.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know any of that was going to happen. It just was chaos.
Mm-hmm. And that happens in the indoctrination.
It doesn't feel real.
No.
But it is. But like it doesn't feel real.
At this point, Jeremy, he
Feel
was
real.
fully indoctrinated into the church.
The assassination does not feel real.
It
Like
Well, it's not a real assassination.
you're watching a joke, and then they make like a I don't know.
It is a joke.
But is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So now Sarah needs to watch the
Who
indoctrination.
did it? Yes, it was.
Now Sarah needs to watch the indoctrination video, and Jeremy needs to watch the documentary. Break their minds again.
No, that would be against the Church of Bob Dobbs.
That
They
would
only
be.
said they wanted an hour of my time.
That's true.
It's true. But then they took an hour and a half.
That's so true. They
And
even say.
actually, wait. I think they mentioned that.
No,
They mentioned that in the documentary.
In the
that only one
in the indoctrination, it says about 90 times that they only want about an hour of your time.
Yeah, they mentioned that. later.
But it's only an hour. That's an hour and a half.
An hour.
It's so good. It's so good. I really suggest anyone out there who's never seen this needs to go watch it. It's so good.
All I know is, from what I've heard all night, is because I'm the weird one here, I'm better than you.
We're all weird
My God.
ones, let's be real.
Now, I would like to point out to everyone watching at home, that means that he's been perfectly indoctrinated. All he did was talk about the Church of the Subgenius, and in one line, if that's truly what you believe, then you've a matter of moments. And I wonder how many more.
If I you
Then you're right. You're right. That's exactly what they're trying to tell you. You with your nightmare before Christmas, with all your swords. You
This actually surprisingly is not Bedhead. I actually just got a car before this,
oh
and it went.
stream talk. That's like.
There.
Why do you have
Yes.
It's a cat.
Anyway,
But the cat can be a hat.
but no,
He's a real
actually,
cutie.
in how many days?
did you what? So having, I'm guessing you've been just and just kind of been following along. Other than that, would you be like, if you heard someone talking about the Subgenius and you like you're the else just because of who you are, your feelings?
I would not kill them. They'd try to get me to a end, and they'd try to lure me in with false praise and candy.
That's too much effort.
That does seem likely.
That's too much effort for the Church of Bob.
Too much effort.
That's too much effort for the
That's
Church of
already-
Bob.
The candy was too much.
Yeah,
You were not paying attention.
I was definitely paying attention. I was watching the indoctrination video the whole time as well.
Were you? Were you?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's already too much. That's too much
How
work.
far are you?
You're
I want
multitasking.
to know.
You're getting rid of your Slack.
That explains his eyes. He started with wide eyes and then
You
just sat there and just
Ignore
slowly,
your Slack.
just melted into the
He's
screen.
picked up double.
You heard it here first, folks. We have one person currently being indoctrinated into the Slack, just as
No, he's
Roddy.
not. He's once.
He take away his Slack, even as he learns about the Slack.
Just remember what Roddy the world, right? Told the world they live.
So something that really struck me, as like they started with how it began and told the stories about how it grew, but then they sort of talked about how it sort of almost ended, and they something someone said that really struck me was, I don't know how you carve out a place for the playful us and them in a place where the news is filling so many of those roles. And it just really struck me that, like, this was something that happened in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Is it something that could happen now? I don't feel like it is.
Why is that?
Just because
Are wrong lens. So what they're saying there is that the news is filling in the and that. You're looking at the news. I think you're looking at the news as in like you're not filtering in people getting their news off Instagram.
they were actually specifically and
But not even like Trump is like, I mean, that's hilarious. As Americans, South Canadians deal with that. That was no other time in my life every day just for a laugh. It was amazing. we have missiles, tremendous missiles. Of all the speeches he had, that line when he said, "We have missiles, tremendous missiles," I have that saved on my phone as a text tone because it's just you'll never hear that again. Missiles. It's like, but to talk about that point, I disagree with the of media. I mean, look, there are people who only media is the James Franco show. James Franco, he's gonna kill me if he ever watches this. Franco. Oh God, if he ever watches this, I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't crap on me for that. Only source of news is Phil DeFranco. There's some people whose only source of news is Snapchat. And it's just... And because you have that of... I want to say viewership, highly mediated... it's hard to... It makes me understand hate Alex Jones, because although I hate Alex Jones and everything he is and feel like that there is no seething pit in hell that is big enough for his asshole, I also believe that he has a right to say whatever the fuck he wants, and that the only reason why people even listen to him is because it's either listen to his bullshit or listen to this guy's bullshit, and just to like his bullshit better. That's what me. So I can't argue. There's people. I mean, if someone out there hates my, I love you. I always a nemesis. Hate my guts more. Send me like just shit on me. It'll make me feel so good. I'm just
Alrighty then.
I would feel so good. I would. I'd be so happy about
I
it.
didn't know about you.
I just, when trolling me, I find it like, maybe I just love the attention. We've now deviated.
Yeah,
off.
like if you
Exactly.
You had
people
that
actually
one years ago?
Yeah.
Or not years, like months ago.
Dreams. That being said, everyone at home, we were talking about Church of the Subgenius. Go watch the videos. Documentary's pretty good. I suggest starting with the indoctrination video. It's late at night. Go get some popcorn. Maybe smoke some legal weed if you're from Canada or Colorado, and do yourself a favor.
Most of the states
It
have
is a
to,
trip.
if I'm not mistaken.
That being said,
Don't do it.
That being said, I am C4. Beside me is Sarah Vike.
Oh, it's all reflected, isn't it?
I hate you. Beside her is the great Grease Goblin, and in the corporeal air, the evil Jeremy. And we are the villains of the Villains Talk Show. Thank you again for watching. I'm sorry you had nothing better to do. Thank you for spending it with us. Sunday we will have our guest. She's a social worker. She works with kids. She's gonna be on. She works with kids with from back her, and then she'll actually be on Sunday to talk. The guy who we had last time.
Wednesday?
Yeah, the guy who we had last time, full disclosure, he's a good guy. He's
no, we don't. Yeah,
flaky.
just-
No,
But that being said, thank you for watching. I mean, yeah, awesome. Sweet. Thank you. Other channels you should go see. I mean, I said Philip DeFranco. Anyone, throw them in now. Other channels? Fine. That's good sports. Tom Grossi video. God. Summoning Salt. If you ever seen Summoning Salt, go watch his videos. They're God gifts to heaven.
Yeah. Art and creativity, pretty cool.
Tim and Eric, awesome show. Yes, that show. Good day, everybody.